inside for your daily dose of news. Another major cyber attack today is bringing international businesses to their knees. And an attempted coup in Venezuela. A helicopter pilot unleashes a torrent of machine gun fire and grenades at the Supreme Court building.
You can hear different histories, and it's very touching.
A relic of a bygone tech age. That's a phone booth, by the way. It's being repurposed now for a creative artistic project.
It's been a long time coming. Ain't seen you around. Time keeps on passing.
And hip-hop group TLC has produced their fifth and final album thanks to the financial support of their fans. Welcome to the Daily Dose. I'm your host, Jeff Smith, and we'll begin the show with a major cyber attack around the world that is right now bringing businesses to their knees. Experts say it could be a ransomware attack. It's similar, perhaps, to that WannaCry cyber attack that hit a few months ago. In that attack, criminals used ransomware that exploited a security flaw in Microsoft operating systems, locking users' files unless they agreed to pay a ransom with the virtual currency Bitcoin. The global reach of that cyber attack was unprecedented, hitting hundreds of thousands of victims in at least 150 nations. In this attack unfolding now, it's more limited. A Russian cybersecurity firm found that there has been about 2,000 attacks, mostly centered in Ukraine, Russia, and Poland. But even as I speak, there are more and more cases being reported in Asia. In one case, a South Korean firm already reportedly paid $1 million to hackers to try and get their company's data back. The U.S. National Security Council says Homeland Security, the CIA, other intelligence agencies, they're part now of this worldwide investigation.
When the first computer started to go down, it went like this. They restarted, and this red information appeared that you saw, and that's it. The computer became uncontrollable. A chain reaction started, the first, the second, third, fourth, fifth computer, and it spread across the whole newsroom.
It's a complicated story. To break it down on a level that will help you understand what's going on, I'm joined in our studio by cybersecurity expert Oren Elimelech. All right, a biblical name. Obviously, King David did not have to, dealing with warfare, did not have to deal with cyber attacks, cybersecurity, but we do today. And why do attacks like this seem to keep happening, perhaps with more severity in the last couple of years?
Thank you for having me, Jeff. What is happening is that the NSA was not able to keep his personal arsenal of tools used by the government, the U.S. government, to keep him safe. And those tools, these tools are actually in a very high level of sophistication and capability, got leaked out a few months ago by a shadow broker group, and those were released. Those tools are currently today being used by various groups around the world, criminal organization, to, as you said before, ask for money, a ransom fee, out of organization, citizen, various public municipalities, etc., so they can actually get their fee for their work. It's a new crime.
And in the Ukraine, in this particular incident, it was the kind of software the companies were using to do business with Ukraine.
Yeah. This attack, as it currently unfolds, is happening mostly as being reported, and this investigation is currently still undergoing. But a software tax program in Ukraine that citizens and various organizations and offices use to report their taxes in Ukraine, when they use it, they got hit because the software developer, the same software organization that they used to report, this got hit by the malware, this specific a new type of malware. And even companies from around the globe that reported taxes in Ukraine got hit because of using that software.
Let me bring into this conversation i24NEW, a reporter for the New York Times. He's in Russia. What is the coverage of this story now? And it appears Microsoft platforms are particularly vulnerable. Even the patches are being hacked into. What is the mood like in the cyber world in Russia where this is unfolding today?
Well, of course, they're saying that this is unprecedented for Ukraine, at least. It was an unprecedented attack. And it seems that the biggest banks there and one of the biggest banks in Russia, one of the top 50 banks in Russia, were affected. It seems that the bigger the organization is, the slower the bureaucratic process is, the more vulnerable it was to this attack, because it took a long time to apply the patch, to get the fixes done. So the slower the decision-making process, the more vulnerable you are, it seems.
And tell us quickly, what is the, let me bring back Oren. If you're just a guy in a company who has a computer and logs on, what can you do to protect yourself, to protect your company, so that that you can access your files that you need?
First of all, apply patches, as it was said now, and you should patch your computer and your operating system on a regular basis. Do not wait. As largest companies, for example, Maersk International one, it's a very global company, did not have their patches up to speed. And second thing is do your backup and invest in a good, solid antivirus program is third. So if you keep those regular routines, you should be safe, and this is as a bare minimum.
And Ivan, is this perhaps an opportunity for cooperation between Russian cybersecurity firms and U.S. intelligence to figure out what's going on here?
Well, the thing is there are many opportunities for Russia and the U.S. to cooperate, but I don't think they have used them. They have a good history of using them. And so far as I can see is that the different countries and different actors are using this attack to justify their political messages. For instance, Ukraine is saying, and has said yesterday several times, that it could be Russia, or it's possible it was Russia attacking Ukraine before the day of its constitution. In Russia, as you know, Russia's biggest oil company, Rosneft, was attacked, and Rosneft is saying that it is its rival, the rival company it's suing, that attacked the computers. So basically, the problem is that people use it for their own benefit.
And let me bring back into this conversation, Oren, who are these people? I mean, Vladimir Putin made a off-the-cuff remark. The hacking of political party email systems. Could be a teenager. Could be a bored teenager. The conclusion of the U.S. it was not. It was military intelligence. But who are these people? Are they very sophisticated, highly trained hackers?
It can be everyone. And the last WannaCry is actually currently attributed to Korea, but it's still unknown for this current attack, but usually it's criminal organization making their profit, their income. It's a new paradigm for making money. It's a new terrorism, if you want to call it, a new way to make money. And also, they can gain political and more benefits out of this for their common interests. And also, a new paradigm to look at is the Bitcoin. Currently, Bitcoin is on the rise. This is why they use the currency for pay. It's a virtual money, virtual currency.
Obviously, it's harder to trace, correct?
Exactly.
Can it be traced?
It's very hard to trace it, if any. And also, now Japan has just legislated Bitcoin. That is also on the rise for the prophecy, for making more income out of this. And so this is also considered to attribute for the new attacks.
All right, and obviously this is already affecting thousands of computer software from pharmaceutical giants, food-making giants, tax companies. This is something that's still unfolding now, mostly in Europe, but also spreading to Asia as well. A big story unfolding today around the world. Thank you, Oren. Thank you, Ivan, so much for bringing us the perspective in Europe and your expertise here in studio with us. Appreciate your time. All right, a lot more news to cover here on Daily Dose, so don't go anywhere. Still to come. A major development in Washington, D.C. as Republicans decide they have to delay their vote to repeal and replace Obamacare. And now the president will begin his sweet-talking campaign to turn all those Republican no votes into yeses. While Israel's Speaker of the Knesset will become the first Israeli to speak at Russia's parliament, and he wanted to make some of his remarks in Hebrew. We'll tell you why it was so important to him, given his backstory. And one of the greatest tennis players of all time poses for an eye-opening photo spread in Vanity Fair, while Serena Williams says she did it and she's proud of it.